We have an exciting topic tonight. What are we talking about tonight? We are talking about multiple sclerosis, neuroplasticity, exercise, and the brain, right? So many great new topics and how CBD can assist with all of that. We want to welcome Erica Zachary, who is Emerald in the company here at Wicken. She's also a licensed clinical social worker and has been living with multiple sclerosis for many years. We also have Kazo, who is going to present, as well as Trevor, Wicken. So we're super excited about this conversation that we're going to have, and we hope that you have guests on the line so that we can really have an engaging conversation. So we're going to get started. It is time to jump right into our presentation. And let me just show everyone the flyer that tonight's webinar. I'm Dr. Rita McGuire, the Chief Medical Officer here at Wicken. I'm one of the co-founders. And every Wednesday at 8 o'clock, we have really exciting information where we want to share with you different challenges that you may have, maybe someone in your family, your community. And tonight we're going to be speaking about multiple sclerosis. We have Erica Zachary, who is our business partner here. She's an Emerald in our company. She's a licensed clinical social worker. We're going to be talking about multiple sclerosis, neuroplasticity, exercise, and the brain, and how CBD can assist. We're joined here by two other amazing gentlemen, Trevor Wicken, founder of MS Gym. He's there. And we have Kazo Moore. There he is as well. So you're going to hear from all four of us this evening. So we're going to get started without any further ado. I'm going to let Erica kick it off.
All right, so I'm going to share my screen. So thank you everyone for coming.
Happy to be here.
Awesome.
We are excited to be here. So if you're excited to be here, put it in the chat. Put it in the chat that you are excited to be here.
I'm excited to be here. I'm usually nervous, and this is the first time that I'm not super nervous doing a presentation. I'm not understanding why that is, but I think because I've joined with all of these amazing people that mean so much to me, my Wicken family, my MS Gym family, and even Kazo, who doesn't know that he's meant a lot to me, so we'll talk about that. But anyway, so again, my name is Erica Zachary. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Let's go to presentation mode here. There we go. All right, so this talk is about neuroplasticity and exercise and how CBD can assist. So we got different experts in different areas here. So my name again, like Dr. Rita said, is Erica Zachary. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. I'm a teletherapist, and I'm a Wiccanapreneur. So I'm an Emerald in the company. I've been with the company since December of 2019. And so Wicken is a gift the name means a gift of God. We are a movement. We're not just a CBD company at all. And so we are a movement. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about us, and then Dr. Rita is gonna come back a little later. So Wicken was brought into existence through the synergistic efforts and shared foundational values of 4 African-American women. So we believe in health, wealth, legacy, and freedom. There are gifts that belong to all people. The company launched on April 20th, 2019 with the goal of becoming the largest and most reputable minority-owned cannabis company in the world. CBD, for those of you who do not know, it's not marijuana, it's the health without the high. By 2025, the plan is to operate as a full-service cannabis company that expands from wholesaling, micro-dispensing to farming and manufacturing through our focus groups, Wicken University, Wicken Legacy, micro-dispensaries, and Pathway to Ownership. We offer the most unique cannabis concept that will revolutionize the industry by empowering the average person to leave generational wealth. All right, so a little bit about me. I'm gonna breeze through this really quickly, but I'm a wife, I'm a mother. I've been married for 26 years this year. Know my husband a long time. I'm a mother. I'll get to my whys. Specialize in integrated healthcare. I have a master's in medical social work And as I got into medical social work, quickly realized that I needed to know more about mental health. So I've been doing mental health and medical social work since 1995. So it's been pushing almost 30 years at this point. I'm a teletherapist. That's what I do now. I treat individuals' mood disorders and comorbid medical conditions like depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, diabetes, hypertension, all those things that often come up for people. And then I have my own practice called Empower You Life by Design. I'm a virtual counselor and do virtual counseling and consultation for women living with MS. So like I said, I'm a Wicanapreneur, been with the company since 2019, and I participate on the medical advisory board. And I've been living with MS and managing it naturally for 23 years now. And then I'm an old gymmer. So as Trevor starts to talk, I've been with the MS gym for, since 2017. After my last exacerbation, I got much more involved in the MS community. And so a part of that involvement, the MS gym has become my family, much like Wakana. And so that's why I was excited today. And so I participate with the MS gym. I do coffee chats. I facilitate a support group. It's an exercise group that I started through the MS gym called Black Girls Move, BGM. If any of my BGM ladies are on, put your BGM in the chat. And I exercise daily with another group called the Amigas. So if you're with the Amigas, put that in the chat as well. All right, so this is my why, guys. And so it's my family. My wonderful husband that's here, hopefully he got online today. And then our beautiful children. I have Ayana who is she'll be 29 on Monday. She has her bachelor's in psychology, is currently in nursing school. And my son Tariq, that graduated from high school in June of this past year. And I'm so proud of him because he didn't freak out, any of that stuff during the pandemic. He was cool as a cucumber. Right now, he hated, though, college online. So right now, he has changed where he's headed. He's doing acting and modeling and all kinds of stuff that he already been working on. And now he's also doing real estate. He's working on a certificate in real estate. All right, so those are my whys. So I'm doing a really basic overview of multiple sclerosis. Dr. Rita and I did this a year ago. So if you want more information or you're not familiar with what MS is, we have another webinar that can talk more about that. But basically, March is MS Awareness Month. So that's why I decided to do this month. And MS is an autoimmune condition. Basically, your body eats away at the myelin sheath, which is a protective covering of the nerves, resulting in a disruption of communication between the brain and the body. They say it's a rare condition, but it seems like it's becoming more and more prevalent these days, as are a lot of autoimmune conditions. But the National MS Society says that there are 2.3 million people worldwide that have MS, and in the United States, 1 billion people over the age of 18. It affects more men than women. The cause is not known. There is no cure, but it is possible to heal and reduce symptoms or eliminate symptoms for some people. And MS is a snowflake disease, so everybody is very different. But what I have listed here is some of the symptoms that people are challenged by, and that could be fatigue or pain or tremors, muscle spasms. That's a big one for me. Spasticity, muscle tightness, muscle weakness, vertigo, dizziness, brain fog, a lot of balance and coordination issues, which is definitely an issue of mine, bowel and bladder issues, heat and cold intolerance, which is something that I have issues with now. It's usually controlled not really controlled, but the only option that we have from Western medicine side is disease-modifying drugs, which are designed to stop progression or to slow it down. But a lot of medications sometimes exist with side effects. And that's why I chose to manage my MS naturally. So I've never taken a DMD. But that was my choice. I don't necessarily think that that's good for everybody, but that was the choice that I made that works for me. So the complementary alternatives that I've done and that a lot of other people have done, looking for, whether you're on medication or not, things like acupuncture and massage and chiropractic care, And managing your diet, managing your stress, things like that absolutely help with MS. Right, some of the other things that are more alternative treatments, medical marijuana, if your state is legal, is what some people are doing. I tried to do that. That became very difficult for me because I still employed. So I wasn't able to function very well. And in the healthcare industry, that makes it difficult. So I started using CBD, and so we'll talk more about that, but that helps me with muscle spasms, pain, spasticity, tremors, and definitely helping me sleep. So that's just a little bit about MS. We have, like Dr. Rita said, we have webinars every Wednesday night. So if you want to learn more information, she's always here to teach and to help us learn. All right, so let me introduce our first speaker here. So this is Trevor Wicken. And so I met Trevor when he started the MS Gym, just a little bit after he started. And let's see, can I control this? I want to spotlight you, Trevor. I'm trying to see. I'm gonna do that, but let me go back. I must keep reading. And then I don't know if Dr. Rita is still on.
There you
Yeah,
go.
she is.
She is.
Okay.
Spotlighted your video. For
Awesome. Thank you.
Does that mean I'm front and center? Am I front and center now?
You're front and center. You're front and center. So who is Trevor Wicken? So again, I met him several years ago now, and I'll tell you, this man gave me hope. Him and his wonderful wife, Misty. You know, what I feel about him and whole MS Gym community, like I feel about Wakana. I never knew that I could love people and have never placed an eye on them personally. Never seen them except on Zoom, right? But that's how important this community has become to me as well. So Trevor Wicken has been a medical fitness practitioner for the past 20 years and is passionate about setting his clients free from pain, restrictions through exercise. He holds a bachelor's degree in sports medicine from Colorado State University and a master's degree in exercise science from California University of Pennsylvania. Trevor is an NASM certified corrective exercise specialist, performance enhancement specialist, an elite personal trainer. He also serves as a level 2 neurokinetic therapist, health neuromuscular specialist, and TRX special sports medicine practitioner. He has a broad background in the fitness industry, including training and management in medical, private, and commercial and specialty-based fitness centers. Trevor has an extensive background in the medical fitness industry and has worked on clients ranging from 9 years old to 97 years old. Trevor's deepest passion lies in working with clients with neurological conditions, including MS, Parkinson's disease, stroke recovery, total brain injuries, and Alzheimer's disease. He also enthusiastically works with individuals whose lives are affected by arthritis, total joint replacements, spinal pain, orthopedic injuries, bariatric surgery, diabetes, hypertension, fibromyalgia, cancer, motor vehicle accidents, and sports medicine returns to sports. Trevor has worked with Division I athletes, some of whom have been professionally trained and drafted, Olympic medalists in training, current and retired professional athletes. Trevor has a passion for writing, speaking, and presenting on topics related to medical fitness, lifestyle management, and personal development. He has presented to medical patient support groups. He's here. Physician groups, medical conferences, fitness conferences, medical fitness webinars, personal training organizations, and government health and wellness organizations. Currently, Trevor's primary focus is growing the MS Gym, finding people who need help and healing, and setting 1 million people with MS free to live a life by design, not by diagnosis. All right, what haven't you done, Trevor?
That's a long time. That's like 20 years worth of stuff.
Got it. All right, Trevor, cool. So glad that you're here. So let's talk. What you got for us?
Hey, just to clarify, OG does not mean old Jimmer. It means original Jimmer.
Original Jimmer. I'm sorry.
Like
I knew that.
Original gangster, all right?
I knew that. Original. I don't want to be classified as old in any way.
Because I don't want to get the title all twisted up. Like, you're not old. You're just awesome.
I'm not old. So yes, absolutely. There we go.
So real quick on just a tech thing, can I share my screen? or did you make me a co-host or anything yet, or no?
I
Dr.
can
Rita
make
can,
you a co-host, okay? Let's do that right quick.
Cool. So I don't need a screen like right now, but if you want to do it, then that's fine. And it'll just flip flop back and forth between your guys' screen and mine.
Sure, I just made you co-host.
Perfect. Thank you, Dr. Rita. Is it Rita?
Yes, Dr.
Yeah, there you are. Cool.
Rita Juanita.
Rita Juanita, let's do this thing. Let's baile. Okay. So, well, Erica, where do you want me to start? Like, I can go a lot of different directions. I do have some information about neuroplasticity, exercise, all that kind of fun stuff. But is there anything directly that you want me to kick this off with for your crew here?
nope, really just really trying to focus on, because a lot of times people think that, especially the MS community, they think that, you know, they're either too tired to exercise. They don't really see necessarily the value or don't feel like it. Or sometimes, you know, we're not given that hope that we can exercise and we can feel better, and that's a possibility. So that's what I'm looking for, and more about, you know, what you do and how the brain can help us in that.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you guys for having me on. That was a good introduction from Erica about what MS is. And just to give you a little bit of background about me, more than you got, just on a personal note, I love that the Wakana crew and people that you're involved with that you guys do talk about whys, and you do talk about vision, and you do talk about, you know, what's the purpose behind your, you know, what's driving your fire, what's the currency in your life, and my whys are just like your guys' is. It's all about family. My wife Misty and I have been married for 10 years, together for 11. She is the co-founder of the MS Gym, and I got 3 little girls at home under the age of 8, and they're my world. You know, I started off, and I knew there was a lot of MS people with MS that I wanted to help, but I also knew that, you know, training clients, you know, 13, 14 hours a day wasn't going to cut it anymore, because I was exhausted. My health was declining. I have chronic neurologic Lyme disease. So a lot of the symptoms that Erica went over, I've experienced as well. I've had sensory disruption, motor disruption, bladder issues, vision problems. I lost the use of my hands and my feet for a while. My spine is jacked up. My joints are falling apart. My speech and my cognitive issues come in and out. I have depression issues. I have anxiety issues, all because my central nervous system is completely in haywire sometimes. So 7 years ago, I hit a gigantic rock bottom where I was diagnosed with Lyme disease. I kind of went about and kind of lived my life normally for a couple years. And then it was just like, bam, it hit me in a flare up that put me in bed for 9 days. I lost the use of my feet. My feet swelled up so bad, and I lost neurologic function in them. I lost bladder and bowel control. My hand, I couldn't pick up my baby daughter. I literally had to like pick her up. Like, if this is my water bottle, I had to pick her up like this because I couldn't hold her. And she was like she was however, like 7 pounds. And I was like, this is not good. Now, I've been a movement practitioner my whole life. I have a master's degree, like you guys heard, in exercise science. I have a PhD level education in neuroscience. So my passion is the brain. My passion is everything that happens in the nervous system. So I had to put my methods to use and basically rebuild my body from the ground up, because otherwise, like, I just wanted to die. So I rebuilt my body using the same things that I am now teaching to the MS Gym. I rebuilt my body using all the exercise, methods and approaches that I'd been using for, at that point, 17 years with clients. And for some reason, I got tagged as the neuro guy when I was 21 years old, because I saw like 3 people with MS, and they quickly became my passion projects. There's just something about it. Like, when I heard their brains weren't working and they weren't able to be a dad, they weren't able to be a mom, they weren't able to be a husband, something inside of me just erupted, and I'm like, I got to help these people. I'm going to figure it out. So I just started diving in on my own on neuroscience and how movement happened, and more biomechanics and more kinesiology. And we had great success. We got 2 of them out of wheelchairs. One of them we got from a wheelchair up to, a walker, a rollator, and they ended up getting their life back. And I was like, these are the people I want to serve. And since then, because I had success with the MS population, I've had the opportunity, and I've been blessed to work with people, with Parkinson's, a lot of vets with PTSD, a lot of amputees, a lot of brain injuries. Like, I was the guy that they sent people to when there's like, I don't know what else to do with you. Well, go see this guy, right? That was me. I was like the last hope guy. And I'm honored to have that position. And for many of my MS gymmers, really, like, this is their last kind of attempt. Some of them have had MS for 25, 30, 35 years. And they're like, I just want my life back, please. And so I take personal responsibility with every single person I'm in contact with, every program I write, every piece of whatever you see out there on social media. Like, it's not flippantly put out there. It's done on purpose, and it's done with heart and passion, because I want to set people free. It's not okay with me that people have to live in pain, be neglected, be told there's nothing else they can do, there's no other solutions. That's just not true. There's always a way. There's always a way to improve the quality in your life. All right. So with that said, let me share my screen and see what I can get to here. All right, we'll go here. And bam. Can everybody see that?
That's an OG
Yes.
for you.
There you go. OG question. All right. So one of my taglines is healing in motion, or we talk about movement meds a lot, movement medication a lot. And movement is truly medicine. Your brain is made to move. Your body is made to move. The 3 things that activate your central nervous system are movement, fuel, which is oxygen, CO2 exchange, so breathing, / nutrients, okay? And what did I just say here? Movement and fuel, right? So oxygen, CO2 chains, and nutrients. So you got fuel for your brain, and you got movement in the brain. Now, the cool part about all you Wakana people is that CBD can be classified as, I guess it would be kind of fuel. It's an activation system, right? And so a lot of time we've seen a lot of people with MS, and a lot of my gymmers use CBD, which is cool because it reduces inflammation. One of the major things that happens in MS is brain inflammation, central nervous system inflammation, spinal cord inflammation, peripheral nerve inflammation. So nerves swell just like other tissues. And so when a nerve is swollen, it just doesn't function as well. Just like if you have a swollen ankle, you can't put weight on it. That's your body's natural protective mechanism to create a splint and to create immobility. It immobilizes the joint so you don't do further damage, all right? That's kind of what happens with MS. Yes, it's classified as a disease, but really what happens is there's such an inflammation, and the body is so out of whack that a demyelination process happens, which means that the coating around your nerves, which imagine like an electrical wire, they all have plastic coating around it, that gets degraded. And when that happens, the signal speed, or the speed of the communication between your brain and the rest of your body, slows down a ton, right? So not only do your muscles not work, but your joints don't work well, your organs don't work well, your heart, your eyes, your endocrine system, right? Your cannabinoid systems, right? Your brain doesn't even know how to actually process what's going on in your body, because all it's trying to do is survive this neurologic disruption that's happening inside of you, all right? So when we talk about movement as medicine, movement is one of the things that actually activates the brain, makes it pay attention, and really can change the way that your body is functioning. Like Erica was talking about at the very beginning, the concept of neuroplasticity. All right. So this is from one of my favorite movies ever, My Big Fat Greek Wedding. I love this dude. Like, everything, he sprays Windex on everything, and he's like, and all he says all the time is, everything stems from Greek. You should be proud to be Greek. Greek is grand, right? So everything stems from your central nervous system. That's where your entire body, that's how your entire body functions. It's just like in a big city, the city cannot run without electricity. All right? Your nervous system is the electrical system of your body. And if you look at that graphic down there, that is pretty fantastic how they did that. That is your nervous system. And so you can see it's not separate. It all flows together. In fact, there's 120 billion neurologic cells just in your brain alone, right? So each neuron in your brain connects and works with between 10,000 and 80,000 other neurons, which leads to 9.6 quadrillion possible neurologic connections. Now, just to put that in perspective, in our galaxy alone, there is only 200 million stars. So think about that. 9.6 quadrillion possible connections versus all the stars you see up in the sky. That's how much of a blessing your body is, how much of a blessing your central nervous system is. It was made to heal. And I put up those stats to let you know that your brain is made to have other options. When parts of your body get damaged, it has other options. That's why when somebody loses their sight, their hearing gets better. When someone loses their hearing, their tactile information gets better, right? So that is how people are actually able to see. And in the early studies of neuroplasticity, which is your brain's ability to change and mold and do something different, they actually took people who were blind and they put stimulus on their tongue. And that stimulus would be connected to an object like a cup or a teddy bear or a plate. And when they would feel that stimulus on their tongue and they would put a plate in their hand, they would make that connection. And so eventually people could see using their tongue, right? Does that mean that they had eyes grow out of their tongue? No. What that meant is that their tongue was able to actually create the visual tactile image of a plate based on what stimulus was coming on their tongue, right? So that's how fascinating the human body is, which is why I still get jacked up sideways after doing this like over 20 years. It still fascinates me every single day. So the central nervous system itself, why do we focus on it, right? Why do I focus on it in quote unquote exercise? Because most people are like, well, exercise is just about like muscles, right? And your heart and your joints maybe and stuff like that. Not really, right? That's only part of what you have in your body. It's actually only 30% is the motor portion of your body, movement, all right? So the central nervous system is the most efficient control system of anything in existence. Like they can't even mimic it on the most high-speed computers in the world. They're trying, but I really don't think it's ever gonna happen because the central nervous system changes so quickly. It's the fastest system in the body, and it's the most anatomically stable in the body, which is interesting because you have things like MS and Parkinson's and, brain injuries and, spinal cord issues and cerebellar dysfunction and all this neurodegenerative stuff happening. And it's happening to the anatomically stable structure. And yet people that get diagnosed with neurodegenerative stuff, they're like, there's nothing more we can do. How is that possible when you have the most anatomically stable structure in the body working on your side, working with you? Like I said, 9.6 quadrillion options. So that we got to find a different road. We got to find a different path. If the path between your brain and your arm doesn't work anymore, that's path A. Let's find path B. Let's find path G, whatever. They're all over the place in your body. My job is to create exercise programs that allows your body to find them. So also with that, the central nervous system is the most functionally plastic, moldable, changeable, meaning it adapts super duper quickly because the brain's number one job, which I'll get to in a bit, is survival. And so that's one of the cool things built into your central nervous system is its number one job on the planet is to survive. And it has ways that it can do that. So neuroplasticity is defined as the changing of neurons. So it's the reorganization of neural networks. It's the repatterning of neurologic function, which directly affects the function of everything else in your body. Bones, joints, muscles, organs, digestion, heart rate, lungs, everything, right? Neuroplasticity is the retraining of how the brain communicates. So like I said, if the major highway between your brain and your arm is blown up by MS or something else, and it doesn't work anymore, the brain is capable of being retrained, reorganized, repatterned, and remapped to create new neurologic conversations between your brain, your muscles, your joints, your organs, your endocrine system, and basically your entire physiology. So you have a backup of a backup of a backup of a backup, so that you can keep surviving and living as a human being. So this concept, and hopefully people can see this graphic on the side. It's a little blocked out by my little screen here of panelists. Let me see if I can move it. Oh, there we go. Perfect. The whole concept of neuroplasticity is about building new roads. All right. So if you look at my cursor here, and these are your major highways, and all of a sudden, right, let's say right now you have a major 3-lane highway on both sides going from, I'll use the same analogy, your brain to your arm. Well, if all of a sudden you get a cervical lesion or a scarring or demyelination in your brainstem, in your spinal cord up here in your neck, and it can't find the map between your brain and your arm, that means that highway is out of order. There's a big old orange detour sign on it. Well, that detour, where do we go when the highway's out? We go on back roads, we go on frontage roads, and everybody starts using those roads. Well, the cool part about the brain is that it recognizes that there's a lot more signaling going to these other roads. Every now and then a car pops off on that frontage road, and then a couple more, and then a couple more, and then a dozen more, and then hundreds more. And so it says, whoa, we're having a lot more signals going over that frontage road. We need to start developing it. So it actually starts improving the functionality, the thickness, the structure of those nerves. So it creates an alternative road. And then those frontage roads, those back roads, they go from gravel dirt roads into beautiful, pristine paved highways. There's lanes added. There's traffic flow. And so with more use, more development happens. And so the brain finds different ways. That's the power of neuroplasticity. So they found it in physical medicine. They also found it in psychologic medicine and behavioral medicine. The way that you think is a neuroplastic event. So with you guys that are involved with Wicken, it's a different business model than the typical corporate structure, right? You want to own not only a job, pardon me, you want to own a business. You want to have something that you can pass on to your children. Well, thinking like that is a different way of thinking. And when you start thinking a different way and changing the way that you think and changing your belief structure and fighting for your why, in order for you to literally focus on that every day, instead of focusing on how much money you don't have, what bill is coming due next month, that's a neuroplastic event. That's a neuroplastic change. And what the cool part is, sorry, I got something on my throat. The cool part is that every single time that you start to work on improving your thoughts, that improves neuroplastic capabilities in your brain, which means that your body can change better as well. So that's how the whole body's integrated. Thoughts, mind, body, spirit, all that, like it's connected. Let me take a drink real quick. I'll give you guys a chance to breathe. Okay. So this gets a little geeked out, but for those of you nerds on here, you'll like it. All right. So neuroplasticity, there's actually chemical factors, and this plays right into CBD and the endocannabinoid system and all that, because those are substances. They're chemical activators in our brain, right? Or chemical inhibitors. That's how the brain's made up. That's the endocrine system. That's how things work. That's how the inflammatory process works. Well, neuroplasticity is driven by what's called BDNF. That's brain-derived neurotrophic factor, right? And so that is what helps your brain adapt and learn. It improves all forms of plasticity, all forms of change. So the neurotropics in your brain are actually influenced by what you do with your lifestyle. So exercise increases BDNF at any age. Sleep improves BDNF. but missed sleep, disrupted sleep, stressed out sleep, less BDNF. Nutrition. If you're loading your body with crappy fats and crappy sugars, if you're eating food that you know you're intolerant to just because you like it and you know you should get off of it, but you're not, you can actually decrease your BDNF, and then your brain starts to struggle. Your central nervous system starts to struggle. And for those of you that are like all about CBD, it is not as effective if your nutrition, your sleep, and your exercise are not on point. And now here comes the big one. Cortisol, which is the stress hormone, acts as it completely counteracts BDNF, right? So when I've taken CBD, that's one thing I've noticed is that it calms me down and it chills me out, which is a good thing because I can get a little crazy sometimes, right? I'm pretty low energy, as you can tell, right? So when you actually decrease your stress using stress management techniques, breathing techniques, getting outside, playing with your kids, having a habit, spending time with your significant other, or doing what you love instead of being stuck in a job that you hate, right? Your stress levels drop, which means your BDNF goes up, which means your brain can adapt and change better, which means that your thoughts can improve faster, your health can improve faster, your relationships can improve faster, your faith, fitness, finances, all that can improve faster because you can think better, because you're not all stressed out. And thinking better is a neuroplastic event as well. So as I said before, the number one job of your brain is survival, right? So that dinosaur is MS to my gymmers, right? And there I am with a spear. Like, that's how I roll, right? Take the weapon formed against me, turn it around and slam it, okay? So your number one job is survival. So your brain has three different ways that it senses whether something's dangerous or not. You have your sensory input, okay, which is basically all of your senses. What's happening outside of you? Is it dangerous or is it safe? Then you got the integration in your brain being like, okay, we're taking the is it safe information and what are we going to do with that? How are we going to change it? Are we going to use it for good or are we going to not do that? It's the decision-making process. And then from that decision-making process, we either engage our environment or we withdraw from it. And that is what is motor output. So the input is what's happening. The interpretation is what do we do? And then the output is do it. And if you look at the bottom of that purple box, it makes a decision. Do we want to create a survival strategy or are we going to allow for better performance, which means you move better, you exercise better, your body functions better. So when we talk about survival is linked directly to threat. So I speak a lot about what is called the threat bucket. So imagine you have a bucket of water and every single thing in your life that stresses you out, you pour some of that stress water in that bucket and it fills up, fills up, fills up, fills up, fills up, fills up. When that thing starts to overflow, that is when you get symptoms. That is when chronic disease starts. That is when homeostatic imbalance happens. And what happens at that point when that bucket is overflowing, your body switches from performance to survival or protection. Your brain becomes oriented towards what is predictable because it's basically saying that your life is being threatened. In your mind, you go into survival techniques being like, oh my gosh, I'm in this stressful environment again, I have to survive. So what happens? You have escapism. You have substance abuse. You have poor relationship. You have poor communication. People freak out. Bad things happen. Now, anything can be added into that stress bucket, that threat bucket, right? Work stress, education stress, family stress, sleep stress, job stress, like relationships. And then when we talk about MS, holy heck, you got a whole slew of physical and sensory problems. So when your body's not moving well from the inside out, when your brain is struggling and feeling like it's under attack from the inside out, When your heart is discontent and it knows it's not where it's supposed to be, that's a massive threat. When you feel like you don't have a purpose, massive threat. And all of that can lead to an exacerbation of symptoms. And so in the MS gym, we really talk about how do we decrease that threat bucket? Well, number one is getting educated. My job is to teach you about MS and what it's doing to your body so that when something happens, you've heard it before. It's not that it's pleasant, but it's not unexpected. The second job of education is when these things happen, what do we do about it? And the solution is there's a structured way through movement that actually allows your body to counteract those MS symptoms, lower threat, and allow you to move better, think better, function better, and become a better version of yourself, which will inevitably increase the quality of your life. Okay? So look up this screen, there's a lot on it. You can kind of look at it if you want, but if you look in that middle box, right, these are all things that are your perception of what's going on around you. So your life right now is, and how you view it, is a collection of how dangerous is this really. And the only way that you can judge how dangerous something is by your life experience and predictable patterns in your brain. That comes from sensory input, previous experience, cultural factors, work and social environments, expectations about danger and pain, relationships, beliefs, knowledge, logic. From all of those things becomes a level of anxiety. And then what's the meaning of all this? And how do I cope with it? And when your body is so out of whack because of life, because of disease, because of whatever, your body goes into survival mode. And if you look in that purple box, the job of your brain is to slow you down so that you don't die, so that you don't get injured. And it does that through symptoms, pain, spasticity, which means you're kind of locked into place or your body shakes when you move, fatigue, immobility, poor balance. If your body cannot find a way to balance, guess what it's going to do? It's going to sit your butt down in a chair because it feels safer there. It's going to lie yourself down in a bed because that's the only way it feels safe, being alive. So my job, and what my gymmers do so well is that they follow the programs that I've created to allow them to reduce that threat and remap the brain, clarify those blurry brain maps, create new roads, which lead to neuroplastic change through the process of practice and skill acquisition. And when that happens, your function improves, your balance goes up, strength goes up, pain goes down, inflammation goes down, immune response goes up or is more balanced, depending on what your body needs. And your endocrine function increases and balances back out. Okay? And then we come to Carlton, right? The number 2 job of the brain is movement. That's why he was always so happy all the time. He was dancing all the time, right? So this is from one of my instructors, and I love this, is that movement is the currency of health, fitness, and performance. Great movement produces healthy, pain-free, high-level living. Bad movement, and that's not an indictment on who you are as a person, it just means dysfunctional, compensatory, or faulty, promotes pain, dysfunction, and progressive decreases in movement, which leads to progressive decreases in brain function and health. So bottom line is, movement is life. Movement is life. Movement is medicine. Movement is what your body was created to do. And when you either choose to not move, or stress or disease or trauma, abuse, anything like that steals that joy from you and you don't want to move and you feel like it's going to take too much energy, you're actually dying. You're missing out on all the things that your body is supposed to do, which is why I exist on this planet, is to bring that to my people. So when I create programs, and when you do anything, you have to do it with intention. So the body actually adapts to the demands placed upon it. The body changes according to what it practices, right? If you practice negative speech, if you practice negative thoughts, if you practice being a jerk, you're going to end up staying being a jerk. But if you practice being kind, if you practice being generous, if you practice being loving, if you practice exercise, if you practice financial responsibility, if you practice good stewardship of your business or whatever it is, you will get better at it. So when we talk about neurologic-based exercise, it's a strategic plan where there's an appropriate dose that allows the body to progress in a healthy way. You can underdose or you can overdose. My job as a coach is to give you the minimum effective dose that's going to lead to change. So everything is very intentional about what we do. So these are just some geek terms here, like Wolff's Law. Basically, if you stress your bones get stronger. If you stress your soft tissues, muscles, joints, ligaments, tendons, if you stress those, they get stronger. If you challenge your brain, it gets stronger. Now here's Trevor's law. The brain will learn how to move according to the pathway that is most effective. So if you do things the way that I coach it and the way that we teach it and the way that a lot of people, like your systems in Wakanda, the way that you run your business, if you follow the pathway that's most effective, your brain will learn to follow the pathway that's most effective because there's positive reward at the end. And form follows function. So if the pathway that you're choosing leads to a positive response, your brain's like, I like that. That was non-threatening. I feel confident about that. Let's do more of that. So it's a positive feedback cycle. That's how neuroplasticity happens. In a positive way and in a negative way. The use it or lose it phenomenon is very real, guys. Very real. And even when you're in a forced, I can't use it, you've got to find a different way. A different way to use it, otherwise you will lose it. So this is just basically talking about the remodeling phenomenon. And here's the main thing I want people with MS to hear, or any of you that are suffering with chronic pain, arthritis, neurologic disruption, is that walking is the single strongest, most consistent and full body loading event that most of us go through. Unless we are into some serious athletics, right? Walking is full body loading, and it's a very complex neurologic event. Now with the MS Gym, every single program is geared toward helping my gymmers walk better. Even if they're bedridden. I have entire programs of people lying down on their back and doing supine strength training. And people are like, oh, I'm lying down in my bed. I'm regressing. That's BS. Go to any gym and how do people bench press? Lying down. How do people do Pilates and yoga? Some of the poses are lying down, right? How do people swim? Lying down. Even though they're buoyant, it's still a horizontal process. So sometimes you are the safest when you need to put your brain in the safest position possible so that you can actually get gains. And that's what we do. All right. And then the third job is proprioception, right? How does your body process what's going on around it and inside of it? So proprioception has been around forever, and in the fitness world and physical therapy world, it's always talking about movement, right? But honestly, proprioception, there's a huge internal piece to it. It's interoception. Are you connected with yourself? Do you feel connected with your body? And a lot of times with people with CBD, it calms them down so much that they can actually connect with their body again. And when you feel that it's called interoception. When you feel that interoceptive connection, a lot of times that allows you to your mind to clear, your anxiety to decrease, your depression to lift. You just feel like, I'm okay. Everything's going to be okay. Like, at least I feel inside of myself now, instead of like everything's coming at me and I don't know what to do. So movement improves that feeling of connectedness with your body, along with everything else we've talked about. So when you look at the proprioception system, you see it. It's your brain, your spinal cord, your nerve endings. And proprioception lives in the brain. It doesn't live in your joints. It lives in your brain. And so the better that you train your brain and the more opportunities that you give your brain to learn a different way, you will feel connected with your body again. And that's one of the, I love the movement victories in the MS gym, but what I really love is when people are like, for some reason, like I'm moving a little bit better, but I just feel like me again. I feel hope again. I feel optimistic again. I'm actually enjoying my day again. I'm enjoying my relationships again. I'm not so angry all the time. That's huge. That means that your brain is changing on levels that nobody can track and nobody can research. That's your own experience, and that's what's special. That's autonomy. That is your story, right? And so all these neural sensors work in your body to see what's threatening. And what the cool part is that there's sensors in your joints and in your organs that sense threat, but the counteractive mechanism in your brain for threat is movement. So if your elbow hurts, pain lives in the brain as well. So a lot of times when something hurts, you don't want to move it. That's actually the opposite you want to do. You actually want to move that joint in a very slow, small way to allow your brain to feel safe using that joint again so that it remembers how to use that joint again. And the map between the brain and your elbow knows how to move again. And if you do it in a way that's non-threatening, it's actually like, cool, let's use our elbow again. And your symptoms reduce. And it sounds simple, it's pretty complex, but with repetition and volume of the right approaches and right exercise, you can feel better. So the whole concept of clarifying body maps is proprioception. There's maps between your brain and the entire rest of your body. And those maps answer the questions of where are we, what are we doing, how does it feel, and is it effective? And if you have very clear maps, you're going to move better because your brain can sense threat, knows what to do, and knows and can create a plan to actually get you from A to B or help you think through the thoughts that you're trying to think. So this is all I say all the time. Go move. Go press play. All right? So that's what we do in the MS gym. I mean, that's a big overview, and I speak really quickly, and there was a lot of information in there, but basically what you need to know is that structured exercise that is strategically developed based on neurology and the pathology of how MS happens is your path out. It's your way out. It's your way to manage your MS life, reduce symptoms, the severity, the duration, the intensity, and get your threat levels low enough so that you actually have enough neurologic reserve to live the life that you want. Because you're not in constant survival mode. There's actually some quiet. There's actually some room to learn. There's some energy left over for your spouse, your business, your kids, whatever. But if you're trying to fight off something like MS and you're not doing anything to lower that sympathetic response that's keeping you alive, you ain't going to have any room to do anything else in your brain. It's at full capacity. There is nothing left. So that's what we do in the MS gym, right? So we create daily exercise programs. We give you guys different learning tools like PDFs and webinars, and you get to talk with me and you get to hang out with people like Erica. Like the community that is inside there, like Erica said, mimics a lot of the Wakana crew. It's so loving and so supportive and so tight. Like we're a family. It doesn't matter where you come from, what you look like, how you think, how you view. We're there for one purpose, which is to change, grow, develop, and have the highest quality of life possible. We do it through movement. Y'all do it through like CBD products, which is amazing. But at the end of the day, we're all looking for a better lifestyle. We're all looking for more family. We're all looking for high quality relationships. And we've taken something as crappy as MS, and it's actually been a blessing to many people in the MS gym. Because they're like, Erica said, like, I've never touched you, hugged you, or even high-fived you, but yet you're still my family. I will back you up. Like, I will be with you. You're not alone anymore. And that's what we do. That's what we've created. That's something that we can't plan out. It just happened. And we love it. So if you guys are interested in the MS gym and you're looking for all that stuff, it is the perfect place. I'm just going to say it. Right? I may not be the perfect guy for you, like whatever, but there's a lot of awesome people inside the community. Like, the programs are legit. We have 2,000 testimonials written down and videoed. People are just getting better. So if you have a neurodegenerative condition, if you know someone that has a neurodegenerative condition, get a hold of Erica, get a hold of me. Check out themsgym.com. And when you go there, there's a big orange button. If you click on that, we have a whole slew of free stuff, free resources, free exercises. I have over 700 videos out free online right now. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, because I want to give back. I want to give people the opportunity to start believing that movement is medicine and have no barriers and no obstacles. The only barrier and obstacle is this and this. So if you can believe this much, and if you want it this bad, just start, just press move. And that's what I do. So thank you guys for having me on. Hopefully that educated you. I can answer any questions people have in the box if anybody wants to do that. I just rolled over my computer cord. So all right. So I don't know, Erica, do you want me to answer questions? Or I know I went a little bit long, so I want to give Kazo his shot, man. I didn't mean to steal your time, bro.
Yeah, thank you so much, Trevor. I now, every time you talk, you remind me of why I love this place, right? Because you drew me in, because I know your heart. I've learned your heart. And you're right, it is a family. And very much like I feel about Wakana, we are family, right? And so I appreciate you. I really do. I appreciate you. So hold
Absolutely.
on. Yeah, we are over time. So let me get Kazo in. Dr. Rita, are we still good?
Yes, you are good.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Thank you.
Sorry, guys.
So,
I get going and I
no,
go.
you're okay. You're okay.
Presentation was not good. It was outstanding.
Oh, thank you. That means a lot.
Yes, yes, yes. And the fact that you know not only about the MS body like nobody I have ever known, right? And that's really, again, what drew me in. And again, giving that hope. But you also know about CBD,
Right.
which I love.
Yeah,
So,
it's important
it's awesome.
to a lot of you gymmers. So like, I got to know about it too. And it's helped me, and I'll probably be in the Wakana family soon because I need to do something to get my inflammation levels down. So
Hey,
I struggle too, you guys. I'm in the middle of a flare up right now. That's pretty brutal. So I'm with you.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right.
Thank you, Trevor.
Thank you, guys. I love you. If anybody has any questions, reach out to Erica, but check it out. And I'm just going to hang tight.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. So, Kazo, are you back? Yeah, I see you. You can unmute if you're able to, but let me give you a proper introduction. So, Kazo Moore was born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia. As a super active child, he mainly focused on playing AAU basketball, joining Future Business Leaders of America, and gaining a passion for cooking. In 2008, after getting an MRI, he was diagnosed with MS, multiple sclerosis, a disease that disrupts the communication between the brain and the body, while enduring years of countless hospitalizations. Ultimately, his MS meds stopped working. In the later part of 2017, he experienced the worst MS exacerbation of his life. Kazo spent nearly a month in the hospital, totally losing his independence. His rock bottom encounterment was the grassroots to starting his organization, My Struggle is My Strength. My Struggle is My Strength is a business that began as a support group in 2018. Kazo is an MS activist, started the company off by selling t-shirts on his website, which he has on, and guess what? I have on too. Never met him, but I love him. And to raise multiple sclerosis awareness. In 2019, the My Struggle, My Strength team participated in the first MS Walk. Kazo has volunteered at the Atlanta Community Food Bank and also Hands on Atlanta. He uses his social platforms depicting his physical struggles and passion for working out as a motivation for others. His continuous passion for health and wellness inspires him to create healthy meals, prep meals, inspiring others to be the best version of themselves. As the company continues to grow, Kazo's near future goal is attaining speaking engagements and raising MS awareness. Can I tell you, this man is amazing? And can I tell you, he doesn't know this, but so for several years, I was just watching him because he would post things online. And I'm like, you know what? If he can do this, I can do it. You encouraged me to move, Kazo. And that's why I asked you to be a speaker for us today, because you inspired many. So you got it. I'm so happy to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. I don't even know where to get started because so much has been going on. So
Yeah.
take a deep breath and just
Take a
move
deep
out,
breath.
right?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And thank you, because I know I'll say that Kazo was in a car accident this week. So are you feeling better?
Yeah, I still have some stiffness in my neck and in my back. So, I'm just kind of taking it easy.
Okay.
It's kind of like the unexpected happens, just like an unexpected MS diagnosis. And you just got to look at what you got and just make the best out of what you have. We just never know what's going to happen, but life continues to happen. So we have to continue to keep going.
You got it. You got it.
Yeah.
All right, Kazo. So talk about how you got started and how what this platform has done for you, especially with exercise, because you post so many things, and why you inspired me. And so I see you in the gym all the time, right? And I'm like, if Kazo can do this, and with, the challenges that you have, I'm still, mobility, able to move around a little bit better. So just talk about how you continue to do this.
Yeah, well, I was diagnosed in 2008 with relapse-remitting multiple sclerosis, and it just came out of nowhere. I didn't know anything about MS. Nobody in my family had it, not even my twin sister. And so it was kind of like, what is this? Can I just take some medicine and it'll be over with, and we can get back to my normal, routine and schedule? And it was like, no, you just got to readjust and really learn what this is. And so that's what I literally had to do. And I didn't have any answers, and I was ashamed to let everybody know what was going on because, I was so used to everybody seeing me in the same way that they always had seen me in. And so it was kind of difficult to just let that go and then really embrace what was really happening. So I dealt with, a lot of stressful issues, and everybody knows that stress makes anything worse, especially MS. And so at that time in 2008, I was dealing with a lot of stress, and my neurologist diagnosed me and told me that this was not the end of the world. And I kind of understood what he said, but I really didn't know what I was really going to face. And so the therapy that I started out wasn't the best therapy for me, but it was the first initial one. And so my MS was very active, and I needed something to kind of calm it down, to kind of get it under control. And eventually, all of my medicines stopped working for me, and I had this rock bottom experience where I spent nearly a month in the hospital, and I had to relearn how to walk, had to relearn how to get dressed. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't stand up. And, I had on those safety belts, those ridiculous safety belts, but I do understand the reason behind it is because of safety and, not wanting to fall. So I was at that point when I was in the hospital, I was pretty much at a crossroads where I was like, it's either now or never, it's either do or die. And I had to make a decision. I really had to change my mindset of going from the woe is me to let's make the best out of what we have. And it was in that time where, at that crossroad, where I decided to let my struggle be my strength and let that be the motivation for me to just continue to thrive and continue to go and continue to just live my life. And so I just, started to work out because I felt like I wanted to have the best quality of life. And I really didn't know what that was. So, I was just throwing stuff up against the wall, and working out was one of the things that kind of stuck and it kind of stayed. And I learned the brain being so malleable and being able to change. And I knew that if I worked on those weak spots, those areas that were weak, like my right side is weak. And I knew that if I worked on that consistently, I knew that those nerves that wired together, and I knew that I could get better. And so I just started working out, and I started just being consistent. And every day wasn't easy. Every day I didn't feel like doing it, but I did make those sacrifices, and I did say, you know what, no matter what, I'm going to be disciplined, and I'm going to go no matter what, no matter the weather, whether it's rain or I'm definitely not going in the snow. But I wanted to I didn't want anything to stop me from getting better. And so within my consistent working out, I obtained a trainer, and a trainer wanted to train me, and I go to his gym and I train, and I go to another gym and I train. So I'm working out. There are days where I work out twice a day, and I know that may seem to be a lot for some people, but I love improvements. And I would say, like, for somebody that's starting out or wants to get into working out or get into getting better. I mean, of course, you start out small, and of course you get the okay and approval from your doctor or your physician to see what you're able to do, or if it's safe enough for you to work out. So, of course, I started out initially with the calisthenics, just not even using any weights at all. It was just, I'm basically using my arms and my legs just to do those exercises. And throughout physical therapy, that has really helped me. So the main thing for me was just staying active, always moving, because, if you don't use it, you lose it. So being active was imperative for me to just keep going consistently. And now I work out consistently. I use my struggles as strength, and I just show other people what my abilities are. I don't put just the good parts out there. I put my struggles. I put how hard it is, how strenuous it is to walk. I put just those good parts, those good videos, and those bad videos. But I don't stop. I want it to be authentic. I want it to be real, and I wanted everybody to see what we go through with MS, and all MS. Everybody is not affected the same way. Some people have those situations where they're not affected physically, while on the other end it is the complete opposite. So for me, I have a walker, I have a cane, I have a power chair, and I have a manual wheelchair. I don't too much like using the power chair now unless I'm absolutely just pooped and fatigued. I mainly try to use just my manual wheelchair, and I push myself safely. I can safely push myself to just do it every day, and I use those devices as aids to help facilitate me to get the job done. So that is like pretty much my story. And so I just want to encourage those individuals that's out there that may not even have started working out. You can start out small. You can start out using cans. You can start out just walking around. And if you can't walk, you can just, lift up your legs or whatever type of movement you could do. That's something. Doing something is way better than not doing anything at all. And, you know, do I deal with pain? Yes. Do I deal with spasticity? Yes. Do I deal with difficulties walking? Yes, I deal with all those things, but I don't let those things stop me or hinder me. I just use those things as motivation to keep going.
Wow. Thank you, Kazo. I appreciate you sharing your story. Sorry it was such a difficult time getting on so you can start talking. But thank you
Right.
for, you know, being patient with yourself and being patient with us. And thank you everybody else for being patient as well. So I really appreciate you showing. So I feel like I know you again, like, although I've never seen you other than your videos, but your videos are very inspiring. So if you haven't seen him, guys, if you can, just support My Struggle is My Strength. Tell your website, Kazo.
MyStruggleIsMyStrength.org.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll be on purchasing a new shirt because I saw some new colors.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, Dr. Reed, I know we are way over. We're way
No
over time.
problem. Was this amazing? I
Oh,
want
man.
everyone to put in the chat how amazing this information was from Coach T. And I'm sorry I was calling you Kazo, but it's Kazo.
Kazo.
Kazo. Just a testimony of determination and faith. But Coach T, you broke it down for us. Neuroplasticity, movement. And what I really love, Coach T, is that you broke it down, the science. You broke it down how important that we just can't look at one thing. There are multiple pathways, and you've got to be honest. It's your diet, it's your sleep, it's your hydration, it's your workout, it's your CBD. You just can't think that one thing. It's the synergy of all of these healthy, active lifestyle modifications that we all have to do. And I'm so glad you incorporated all of the other neurodegenerative conditions. When we think about Parkinson's, we think about dementia, we think about MS, arthritis. So this webinar was absolutely powerful for all of those that we love, all of those that we know with neurodegenerative diseases and conditions that we can holistically address. Holistically, not put in a lot of pharmaceuticals that I was taught to give patients, right? So right now, I'm going to spend 5 minutes, just 5 minutes. We are going to talk about our products here at Wakana, our CBD products. But what I really, really love is the fact that, you know, when we talk about CBD, when we talk about the brain-derived neurotrophic factor, you know, CBD has been found to increase that. These are really important things that you understand, that CBD is not a snake oil. It's not a magical potion. There's real science behind how CBD works in the endocannabinoid system, in the brain, in the central nervous system, in our immune system, in our periphery, that puts our body back in balance. CBD reduces the inflammation. It's neuroprotective. So those nerve cells that have been damaged in multiple sclerosis, absolutely, the science is there. And what I want to do is really focus on some other symptoms that patients with MS are challenged with. You know, fatigue, depression, vertigo, vision problems that Coach T talked about. Sexual dysfunction. You know, that's a really big issue. As an obstetrician gynecologist and seeing patients with MS, we absolutely have to remember as well. Bowel and bladder symptoms, muscle-related symptoms, cognitive dysfunction. So when we look at our products, we have 2 product lines. We have a power line, which is our full spectrum line. That is the products that contain the legal limit of THC, which is 0.3% or less, because we understand that there are those who have neurodegenerative disorders. They have multiple sclerosis. They have Parkinson's. They have other conditions, arthritis. that they still may have drug screens, right, at their job. So we do have products that you can safely take if you have drug screens at your job. So our tinctures, those are products you place underneath the tongue. We have one that's very, our most potent product, that's our Hempranium MD. That is really for those who are challenged, they have limited mobility, or maybe they have quality of life issues with MS, and these symptoms can be addressed with our Hempranium MD. And again, we have other formulations. We have a 500 milligram. We have, like I said, a broad spectrum product. Our pure products are for those who have random drug screens. We even have a product that you can put in water. You can put in your smoothie, your juice, your oatmeal. So we have products that you can bake with, you can cook with. And again, the tinctures are sublingual. Real important to place it underneath your tongue. And that's why I love the fact that we do have a water soluble product for those who may have a neurodegenerative disorder like dementia, where they cannot cognitively understand that they have to hold a oil underneath the tongue. But let's look at the Mayo Clinic really, really quick. The Mayo Clinic has some recommended dosing. And when you look at MS, the dosing can be as low as 2.5 milligrams a day, all the way up to 125 milligrams. So when we talk about CBD, more is not better. I deal with a lot of patients who have MS, fibromyalgia, lupus. More is not better. There's a lot of background noise, so if your microphone is still on, just mute yourself, please. But looking at MS, 2.5 to 125 or 20 milligrams per day, THC with the combination of CBD is all you need. And there's different ways that you can dose. If you're a guest on the line, we can help you with that. You can microdose, that means a little bit at a time, or you can use our recommended dosing that's on the bottle, 3 drops twice a day. There's dosing by weight and severity of your condition. There are many ways to dose your CBD, but more importantly, finding that optimal dose, that sweet spot that we speak of, where you're getting the most benefits at the proper amount of dosing. And then we have topical products. You know, topical products are really good. Why? Because they offer local relief for those aches, those pains, those muscle spasms. Again, our topical products come in a salve form, they come in an oil form, but absolutely, these are products you can again safely take if you have random drug screens. And then we have smokable products. We have CBD joints, we have cartridges, we have flour. In fact, we have a new Delta 8 product. All of these products, again, contain the legal limit of THC, meaning if you have random drug screens, these particular smokables are not something that you can use. But then we have gummies. You know, we talked about in multiple sclerosis and many other neurodegenerative conditions, how sleep is so important, right? Reducing inflammation is very important. Edibles, our gummies, are products that you can take at night to help you to get that restorative sleep, during the day to help reduce inflammation and anxiety. But again, using these products consistently, using them collectively, using them and finding your sweet spot and that perfect dose is what we help you with here at Wakana. Our newest product line is our Delta 8. Delta 8 is a great cannabinoid that is a cousin of Delta 9 without the euphoria, without the paranoia, without the high. Again, these are great products. We have spices too. We have spices that you can use in your food. We have a vegan butter that you can use as well. So all of these products are organic, sourced. All of these products are either full spectrum or broad spectrum. We have products because multiple sclerosis and many other conditions can affect your sexual dysfunction, sexual as libido, All of these products, again, can be used safely. We have those gummies that help the men, as well as essential oils. See, essential oils are also a holistic way to address MS. Peppermint, frankincense, what do? They reduce inflammation. They help with fatigue. They give energy. And I love recommending using essential oils for those patients with neurodegenerative conditions, using the essential oils on the soles of the feet. You know, the soles of the feet have the largest pores, so you're able to really absorb the oils in your system. So long-term use of CBD, there's studies that have shown the efficacy and safety, even doses as large as 1,500 milligrams per day. Again, the Mayo Clinic did a study on those patients with MS, and really those patients didn't need any more than 2.5 milligrams on the low end and 120 milligrams on the high end. So I want to thank everyone for just sticking in here with us. I want to thank Erica. She is one of our members on the medical advisory board. She has been so instrumental in putting this together. She said, Dr. Rita, March is multiple sclerosis month. I want to do something. I want to bring these folks on the line to help educate the distributors, the guests here at Wakana. And so I cannot thank you enough, Coach T. You were absolutely amazing. I want to thank you, Kazo. More, you were absolutely amazing and inspiring. And Erica, I cannot thank you enough for bringing this platform to Wakana, a very important platform. I just want to say one last thing. Every time we speak about multiple sclerosis, I think about my classmate in medical school. My classmate, her name was Stephanie Thomas, committed suicide 6 months after getting her diagnosis of MS. She was a beautiful woman, brilliant, but she just couldn't take the fact that she had MS. She just couldn't tolerate the fact that she had to use a walker. And so this is powerful for me because we have something that we can offer. We have movement, we have education, we have the ability to use botanicals to address and to assist with MS. So thank you all so much. We can take some questions. You can put them in the chat. You can unmute yourself, Coach T, Erica, whoever would like to speak. You are on the panel. You can unmute yourself, but thank you again. And thank you, Wakana family, for hanging in there with us.
I just want to say thank you as well, Dr. Rita. This was amazing for lots of reasons for me, because so many people are so hopeless when they get a diagnosis. So I understand about your friend that committed suicide. And I didn't put that statistic up there, but it's actually pretty high, right? Because people lose hope. They think that nothing can be done. And unfortunately, the reason why I love Coach T so much, and I'm going to get teary myself, is because people aren't given hope. Right? A lot of people are given, just said, you have MS or you have multiple sclerosis. They're not given any explanation, and they aren't given anything that says that you're going to live okay through this, right? The first thing I was told was, you are going to be in a wheelchair, quit your job. I had just graduated from graduate school. We hadn't been married that long, and we had a small daughter. And she told me, and that was it. And so I was like, what is this? Like, much like Kazo, I had no idea what this was. Right. So I appreciate people like Coach T for giving us hope. He gave it back. I didn't have it before. So just having that was just amazing. So I really, really appreciate you guys. And I appreciate Wakana for giving me the hope and for giving us these amazing products. I am a product of the product. Everything you named, I use just about all of it. So because I believe in, we didn't talk about this and we know we're out of time, but you have to layer it. Right? Yeah. Because we're dealing with a condition. It's not going anywhere, sadly, but you can control it. right? And so I'm thinking, my brain is thinking inflammation all day long. So I'm thinking about, I use that Hempranium 500, I use the black seed oil. I use the MD, and I add the black seed oil actually to that one because it doesn't have the black seed in it. I use the water soluble. I use the seasonings during lunchtime. I use the butter. I use gummies all day, the pure during the day and the other ones at night. I did my, the flight 50 last night, oh God, but I slept, right? Because I have a lot of problems turning my brain off. So yeah, definitely we have an amazing, amazing variety of products that allow us to layer it, and it's not just about CBD oil, and that's usually what people think. So thank you so much, Dr. Rita, for giving me the opportunity to be on the board and to do this presentation and to organize this, and I appreciate it.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Coach T, did you want to say anything? Who is that beautiful person there? I gotta add you as a spotlight. Oh my God, you're gorgeous. Who are you there? What's your name?
Brielle.
Oh, that's
Hi,
beautiful.
Brielle. You got 3 little girls, all girls.
Yeah, this is one of my whys. And
Yes.
you know, and Erica, thank you. I started crying because I love you.
We'll be out here crying together, so stop
Yeah,
it.
right. This is gonna go all weepy here. But when I look at Misty, my wife, and I look at her, how she is with these 3, and I think about something like MS, taking that from her and taking the ability for her to be the mom and the wife and the woman that she knows that she can be. Like, I mean, that's why I started the MS gym, because like I can't let people go out like that. I can't let them live their lives like that, because it's just not true.
That's right.
It's just not true. Like, and so thank you guys for having an organization like this. Dr. Rita, everybody on the panel, like, you guys are just awesome. And it's cool to see another community that's as fired up about changing lives and promoting health and promoting family and promoting truth and unity and in healing and equality, because that's honestly like the world needs right now. Like, yes, we're all here, and yes, it's part of a product, or it's part of a gym, or it's part of a program, but at the end of the day, like, this is for people. This is for like all of us, you know? So I'm just honored to be on here. Like, I've been looking at the comments. There's some amazing people on here, and just don't give up hope. No matter what you have going on right now, like, everything can change and will change if you point your sights towards it and pursue it. Like, that's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way we were created. That's the way that we all need to live our lives. So, you know, Erica, you people like you inspire me, just like I inspire you, and Dr. Rita. Like, it's a pleasure and honor to meet you, ma'am. And I love what you're doing here. So thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. It's been a great evening. Now, is Kazo, did he pop off? I think he's off.
I'm not sure.
Were there any questions before we let everyone go? I didn't see any questions, just amazing comments. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Just a lot of awesomeness, Coach T.
That's my word, man. Awesomeness.
Yeah, and the other is, was this recorded? Is this recorded? And it is. So we'll get that recording out to everyone. Phenomenal presentation. Awesome, amazing. Awesome, amazing. I don't see any questions. Kathy Weathersby, you are amazing. Can we give it up for Kathy?
Thank you, Kathy.
Hey.
Thank you for getting Kazo started. Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank
Kathy,
you. Thank you.
I'm glad we were able to hear that testimony.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well.
I'll send him a message and let him know about all the comments.
Well, good night. Continue to be well and be safe, and we will see you next week. Thank you, Erica, again, Coach T, Kathy, Kazo, and all of our other Wakana Medical Advisory Board. I see you, Dr. Betty, Dr. Rashonda Conti. Thank you so much. We'll see you later. Bye. Is it Bella?
No, Brielle.
Brielle. Bye, Brielle.
Bye, Brielle.
Hey, bye.
Good night.
Mom, tell your sisters and your mom hello.
We will. All right. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.